every week. Catch it fresh as on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.
Field Level family, we back, man. It's the Field Level, the football podcast of the West Coast. I'm Pat. That's Quan. Bang, that's CT. You know how we do it, man. Back here, it's going crazy. It's going up. It's NFL free agency. But before we even get to that, y'all heard the new opening, man. What an awesome new opening we got, man. I'm excited about that young artist. He goes by the name of Vita Ray, Vitarey. You can find him on Instagram as Vita Ray. You could also find him on SoundCloud as Vita Ray. You could also find him on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you stream your music at. Go listen to that kid, man. What a great talent. What an awesome talent, man. I had me kind of feeling myself, man. I was, pick 6 when I get the ball. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of clean, man. We got it going tonight, man. Quan, CT, let's do our check-ins. How y'all doing, man?
Oh, we good, man. We blessed, highly favored, and ready to unleash on all this news, man. It's an exciting day. Let's go.
Crazy. CT, what's going on with you, boss?
Chilling, bro. You know, one of the biggest days of the year. We love that legal tampering free agency period, man. And
right.
And obviously, man, I'm glowing because I got that fresh sea moss at the house with the honey mix.
Honey mix.
A little bit of turmeric too, just to make sure that my swelling goes down and my old ankles and knees. You dig what I'm saying?
Lock in there, young man. Lock in there. Well, y'all know, man, we got a special guest with us tonight, man, as you know, we often kind of do here at the Field Level. Friend of the broadcast, friend of the podcast. Ed is gonna get down with us tonight as we dive through all of this, man. Ed, man, welcome in, man. How you feeling, bro?
Oh man, what's going on with my soul brothers, man?
Oh man, you know,
What's up, man?
We back on it.
Cat ain't over there happy, man. Y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do this.
I'm cool.
We good. We Gucci.
I'm
we
cool.
Gucci.
Hey, bro.
Make sure y'all energy good.
Oh, you already
Yeah,
know.
the energy is great. Energy is great. What I wanted to jump into, because let's just jump right in on tonight. Let's tackle some of this stuff. I think I seen you post something about it. Yeah, man, wipe off that camera, man. You like you was in the fog. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Want to jump right in. I seen you post something earlier, Ed, as it pertains to the New England Patriots, right? New England went out today. They started the day with a bang. I'm talking about they drafting everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're not drafting, they signing everybody. You got, a bunch of great signings today by the New England Patriots. And I think I seen you say something earlier, Ed, to the likes of Cam now doesn't have much of an excuse. I want to touch on that because if you watch the I Am Athlete podcast, when Cam was on there, Chad Johnson was talking to Cam, and basically he told him the issue is, bro, they got to get you some dogs. You ain't got no killers. You ain't got no people out there with you that could get the job done. There's nobody there for you, Cam, to really make something happen. Well, now, as of today, as of, early this morning till now, Cam has officially adopted some dogs. Look like Ed is frozen. That's cool. Cam has officially adopted some dogs. You got Nelson Aguilar. Brought him in for a 2-year deal worth $26 million. Had some breakout seasons the last couple of years with your Oakland or your Las Vegas Raiders, Quan. Then you have KB. They went out, signed Kendrick Bourne to a 3-year, $22.5 million deal. $22.5 million. Then they also got one of my favorite tight ends last year. Y'all know this. He was on my fantasy team. They went out and got Jonas Smith from Tennessee. 4 years, $50 million. Shored up the offensive line a little bit more. We're going to see how that kind of turns out. Bringing back Trent Brown back into the mix. Then they also went out and shored up a lot of that defense a little bit. I like the Jalen Mills coming over. I really am happy about that signing. I actually like the Justin Bethel. So want to kind of jump in tonight. How do you guys feel about what New England did today. Quan, I'm gonna start off with you.
I feel, man, I'm speechless. Bill Belichick was in his bag today. I'm talking about he was all the way in his money bag, I should say. He spent a lot. He spent a lot of money today. But you know what? I would say out of all the signings, even though I'm a Raiders fan, I can talk about the Aguilar signing. But the biggest signing to me that he did was Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills reminds me a lot of what Kareem Jackson does for the Broncos. And you guys know how much I like Kareem Jackson. He's a do-it-all DB. He can play outside corner. He's one of the good nickel corners. He played safety and free safety for the Eagles this past year. Man, he can do it all. And in that scheme, you look at him, and then you think of like the way Belichick liked to use Patrick Chung and have him all over the field. That's kind of going to be what he is. Mm-hmm. Or he's a plug and play nickel corner right now, since they got McCourty and Patrick Chung coming back off the opt out. So I think that was a great land. Aguilar, I'm kind of upset the Raiders didn't re-sign him. I linked this to like when they were trying to go through the whole Khalil Mack thing, and the money that Mack was asking for and the money that Gruden was offering was like splitting hairs. Like, man, just give him the money. This was the same for Aguilar. Report was like he got 26 mil, so that's what, 13 mil a year, but the Raiders were only going to give him like 10, 11. It's like, bro, do that. What you doing? But yeah, man, I'll let you guys touch on the other guys, but those two guys in particular, my gosh, Bill Belichick did that.
CT, I'm gonna let you hop in, man. CT, tell me how you feel about what New England did today, and even kind of touching on, what that means for them going forward.
Yeah, I want to say roughly 192 million today is what was spent. Yeah. That Bill spent, and hasn't been known to do that in a while, man. So, shout out to them. He knew that it was going to be a rough year. He owned up to it. He did the best he could and tried to put a competitive team together, considering all that. And he came back and made it happen. I'm really excited for Cam. I've dogged Cam. To be honest with you,
I know.
It was necessary.
The way he was
playing.
No,
it wasn't.
Because I'm a fan of Cam, and I always have been. So it was disappointing. But I watched that interview on the I Am Athlete and all that. And he made some valid points, man. For him to go through no camp, no OTAs, new offense, all that type of stuff. Limited. Julian Edelman might not be the same. I'm not sure exactly where he's at. He wasn't healthy. There were some things there. And obviously Cam could have played better. But I got to give him an opportunity to have a full off season to see what it looked like. So I'm happy that he got another opportunity, because he wasn't going to get another one anywhere else, in my opinion.
Very true.
And then I'll just touch on Kendrick Bourne. Honestly, I think this is a big signing for them in the sense of he's a fire stick, man. He's a good energy guy. You got to have guys like that on your team, and it can't just be Cam, especially because Cam was so up and down with everything going on. You got a lightning rod cat that's going to add a little flair to the team. I think the Niners were swaggiest when KB was on the squad, to be honest. And, that was just my vibe and how I felt about it. I think that was a little bit much for him, but I'm happy that he got the bag. And then, obviously, Matt Judah. I think that's a solid signing, man. That's solidifying that pass rush. Still a little bit of work to do, but overall, man, I think they came out the winners in day one.
There you have it. Ed, I'm going to go back to you. I think you said something earlier. Like I said, you said something earlier on Facebook. You said Cam no longer has an excuse. Well, I kind of would lean toward agreeing with you with that. How you feel about what the Patriots did today?
So I think that the moves that they made it's probably the last time it's going to be done in his era. Bill Belichick don't really spend a lot of money, hardly ever. Mm-hmm. Like if you've seen him over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, he's let top offensive linemen walk. He let an offensive lineman go to the Giants. He didn't make that a priority. They lost Stunny to Kansas City. But what he did on the defensive line, knowing that he was getting Patrick Chung and Dante Howard back, was it speaks volumes, because if we go grocery shopping, you can have all the ingredients, right? If you don't have no chef that can put it together, then it's just food everywhere. It ain't gonna go right. It ain't gonna taste right. So the same thing applied with Cam. Like, it was a lot of, I ain't gonna say it was a lot of quarterbacks, but it was maybe like 3 or 4 quarterbacks last year that didn't have an off season, that didn't have OTAs, and they still got the job done. Phillip Rivers got the job done. Of course, Tom got the job done. One, I forgot, was somebody else in a new place, new system, but I mean, for Cam, I just think that
they got daddy daycare over there.
They just got done with practice, but I just think that people make excuses for Cam. Like,
thank you.
I think that people make too many excuses for him. Like, I understand that he don't want to go out a certain way and all, and he didn't have an off season, but there's a lot of people that didn't have an off season, didn't have OTAs. They still got the job done. They were still in the playoffs.
Let's talk about it, Pat. Come on, man.
But as far as the move that they made, they gave him all the pieces. So he don't got no more excuses, because if he can't get it done, mind you, they didn't even do that for Tom last year. The money that they spent this year, they didn't have it, but he's never done that for Tom. He's never went out there and spent that much money in one season, in the off season for Tom, ever. I think the biggest signing that they had, the two biggest signings that they had in the Tom Brady era, was Randy Moss and Stephen Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
And they only gave Randy 3 years and $25 million. So the money that he spent this year, this offseason, he looked around. Real quick, Patrick Mahomes, what he did to extend his championship window was big. I know y'all gonna talk about that, but that was big, because a lot of great quarterbacks, they talk about wanting to win, want to be a championship team, but they don't want to take less money. A-Rod, for example, you saw his center, he got up out of there today. Patrick saw, like, you know what? Tom doing his whole career. I don't need all this money right now. Let me take less, give me some offensive line help, because if we're going into the season with this ain't finna be no constructive season for me. So
right, and where they really making their money at, what they really making their money at is in them endorsement deals anyway. So Patrick Mahomes has a huge bright future in them endorsement deals. I want to touch on this right quick. Give me a half a second to take some time and really spread the plate on what we're talking about here. That's what's going on in New England. I agree. Bill Belichick does not spend money like this. This lets me know that Bill almost kind of went into shock last year a little bit. Bill hasn't been used to a season like that. They haven't lost like that in a long time. So I think this is Bill saying, "Oh no, we're not doing that. Let me go out here, change the way we work a little bit, spend some money, and see if I can right this ship a little bit." I gotta say, me and Quan will get into it a little bit later as well. Me, Quan, and CT have a huge discrepancy in how we feel about Kendrick Bourne. The biggest frustration I have about this situation with Kendrick Bourne going to the New England Patriots is that it's going to feed Quan's argument. I'm going to tell you why. Kendrick Bourne in that system fits perfectly. He does not have down the field skill set. Kendrick Bourne is a possession over the middle, a crosser, slant, out. That is what they do, and that is where he's going to thrive. And that's going to kill me, because here going to come Quan saying that Kendrick Bourne, we shouldn't let him go. Y'all shouldn't let him walk. But he fits into that system perfectly and what the New England Patriots wants to do. Ed, I see your hand.
So he do fit into the system, because in a system you don't have to have elite speed. But what you do have to do is you got to know how to read defenses, and you have to have a quarterback who's built off of accuracy. And so those two things, to me, they don't mix. Cam ain't never been no accurate. He had one MVP season where he was middle of the pack.
He was average. Where he was average.
Y'all gonna get off of him. Y'all gonna get off of him, though.
No,
you talking about him going there and him being successful, but the system is built off timing and reading defenses. Cam ain't never read a defense since college.
Also, Pat, I want you to finish, because I got something to say about Cam, but I want you to finish because I'm gonna unleash on Kendrick Bourne. But go ahead, finish your statement though.
There's not much that you can unleash on Quan. I understand that you're infatuated. You're infatuated with Kendrick Bourne. He has not been like he's a good player. He's a good receiver. Yes, he's a strong 3. He's a strong third option. If you think that he's anything more than that, you are sadly mistaken. It's his skill set it's not that crazy, bro.
Here's my issue with y'all. What are
you talking about? I mean, come on,
issue with y'all. First off, y'all keep talking about this whole the I Am Athlete show, the podcast or the show, right? This is what I need y'all to do. I'm gonna need y'all to get on Chad because y'all gonna say, well, you know, Chad was like, he ain't got no dogs. But how come
He
Chad
didn't. Not last year. He didn't.
Okay, that's fine. But how come
Cam
Chad
didn't have no dogs last year.
But how come Chad didn't bring up to Cam that you don't need dogs if you're gonna throw the ball in the dirt 3 yards ahead of the receiver? Oh, my bad, he forgot to bring that up though, right? That's right, that's what I'm saying. So check this out. Bill is still gonna have to go draft a quarterback to compete. Cam does not, to me, and this is straight up, Cam to me does not deserve to just be the open starter. Because if that was the case, he would have never got benched twice last year. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs to bring in somebody to bring competition to that position. Cam could be the front runner because of experience, but he's not guaranteed the job.
I wouldn't mind them bringing in Trubisky.
Wait, hold on. The team that Cam inherited was the same team that Tom had. Minus
Come on, bro.
It is.
Look at that. How many defensive players didn't play last year, bro?
Two.
What they got to do with him throwing the ball?
It wasn't two. It wasn't
Yes,
two. It wasn't just
was.
two.
3 big ones starters.
How many was it?
Hightower, Chung, and
McCourty, right?
No.
The Twins played.
Yeah, the Twins played.
It was only 2 starters. The rest of them was role players. We talking about on the offense. On the offense that Cam inherited, it was the same offense that Tom had just
Did Jules play most of the year last year?
What does that have to do with throwing the ball in the dirt, Pat?
And Jacoby Myers, did he play a lot?
What that got to do with throwing the ball in the dirt?
They ran out there with N'Keal Harry.
And Gronk was there when Tom was there.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
But they ran out there with N'Keal Harry. They ran out there with a rookie Devin Asiasi, and they ran out there with I don't even know Brett's name. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a big.
We don't know what
team, though.
Bro, we don't know what they could do if Cam short.
But Ed, we have the understanding that Cam Newton is not Tom Brady. We know that.
That's a fact. Yeah.
That's a fact. So I don't care if it was the same team. It's a different quarterback.
For the offseason, one offseason ain't gonna change that.
You got to understand something, bro. Tom had it dialed in, bro. That was his team. He ran everything a certain way. Cam had to come in and do something a little different. And you gotta think about
otherwise is bad.
Look, there's certain players that elevate what's there, and Tom is that type of guy. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's great, right? But not everybody's able to do that.
I have a question. I have a question. Hold on, listen.
You don't get to say that.
Hold on, listen.
Because you said Tom couldn't even get it done last year. Every time you got on here, you was talking about how bad my guy was. You can't talk about how he the person that could go get it done because he went to a new system that was a chuck it down the field system, and he got it done. So Cam don't got these excuses like he was with a Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you can't compare the two. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just say this so I can get off of Cam because I already got my point across with his whole dumping the ball in the dirt thing. Kendrick Bourne, I agree with y'all as far as he's a good 3. I get that. But to me, if you're a good 3 and a consistent 3, then all it takes is one team to give you the opportunity to try to elevate into a 2.
And he got that.
Right. I know he did, but I think you guys are gonna miss him because, like CT said, he bring y'all whole energy. He bring.
Come on, bro. It's football. It's football.
He's not going to New England to be a 3.
I'll say this because you lost.
He's not.
Listen, because
to be the 3rd?
No, he gonna start.
Ed might have a point.
No. Is he over Aguilar? Is he over Aguilar?
Aguilar's the one.
No, let me finish because you talking crazy. Is he over Aguilar? Yes or no?
No.
Is he over Julian Edelman? Yes or no?
No, but he playing a slot. He playing a slot though.
I don't want to hear he might not. Is he over Julian Edelman? Yes or no?
No.
Right now?
No.
Yeah.
He's not. No, he's not.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry,
hurt. Julian finna be 36.
Pat, he doesn't have to be.
First of all, Julian not gonna be 36. We're the same age.
He's about to be 35, 36.
No, he's not. Julian's 33. We're the same age. We're the same age. Chill out.
Oh, listen, the way his body breaking down, he was already
look.
He's 33. So Quan, like you just said though, Quan, if he's not better than Aguilar, if he's not better than Edelman, what does that make him?
He'll be on the field,
option. Okay.
But he'll be. I'm not arguing.
And don't even add in Jonas Smith. Come on, bro.
Who's
Bill
that?
Belichick not paying him $22 million to come and play a 3rd.
I agree.
He's going to start. The Patriots run a lot.
3 years, 3 years, 22 million.
The Patriots run a lot of 11 personnel, so he's going to be on the field like a starter. So that the fact that he's not number one, that don't even matter. But
it's a third. I just said he was a third. That's what I said.
You guys are going to also lose Trent Williams because Kendrick Bourne's gone because they were best friends. So he about to be out.
Oh, stop that. Chill out. He like Debo too. Now, what I will say is that going back to the previous comment, because we're off of that, going back to what Ed was talking about as far as what Patrick Mahomes did, that is what scares me as it pertains to the Trent Williams signing. Pat Mahomes said, "Oh, y'all want Trent Williams? Okay, let me restructure. Here, throw 27 a year at him." Because it's already been said that the Niners gave him $20 million a year. How did he turn that down? How did you turn $20 million per?
He would have,
bro.
Well, Trent would have took it if KB stayed, but
bro.
I'll call it how I see it.
So with that being said, I wanted to kind of move on into that vein. Where does Trent Williams end up? Will he be a Niner or will he be a Chief? What is your opinion? CT, I'll start with you on this one.
First of all, I'm not paying my $22 million. Sorry. Anyway.
Oh wait. Hold on, CT. Because you said that's not a lot of money, right?
It's 3 years. It's $22 million over 3.
Okay. So do you know what Randy got when he went there?
I don't care. Don't do that. I don't care. But that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago.
Bill Belichick don't invest in wide receivers like that unless they finna come in there and get busy. He not finna play no third.
That's why he gave Aguilar 2 years, $26 million. Aguilar is the superior athlete, the superior receiver in the situation. I don't care what Randy Moss numbers was in 2013. Irrelevant.
Okay.
Hey, this is definitely I Am Athlete Part 2 because I be getting cut off like crazy, bro.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
Does that make me Brandon Marshall? Dang.
I gotta give Patrick Mahomes some credit. Ed made a good point, man. Only the greats make those type of decisions, for the betterment of the team. Getting what's that guy's name? Thuney, whatever it is.
Yeah, Thuney.
That's huge. I mean, they paid a lot, but the fact that they was able to make that happen and make some moves with all of their star players, because it was a few of them that restructured their deals, says a lot about where the Chiefs' head is at in regards to competing. They realized that it was embarrassing for them to not be in that spot, not to have all their linemen set up the way it was supposed to be. They came in there arrogant, so now they're like, okay, we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again. We're gonna make sure we got the right linemen and we're set up long term in this situation. So they're gonna make a little bit more noise. They still got some action, but I think that's the trend that these franchise quarterbacks are gonna have to go with. It's nice that you get your bag, but you got to be smart about it. Does this extend your opportunity? Do you want to be an all-star or do you want to be a champion? I guess that's the best way to put it.
That's
a good point. That's a good point.
But with that being said, though, CT, back to the original question. Where does Trent Williams end up?
You know what? I mean, so it's a few opportunities, man. I'm going to go with the two teams that have the most to provide them. Jacksonville. I don't see why he'd go there, but I'm saying they got a lot of money to throw at him. That's all I'm saying. A whole lot of money, and they're gonna have to fill that void. And then obviously the Colts. If you're him, you go with the Colts because that's a little bit more of a competitive situation for you. But those are probably the top two. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kansas City can make that happen. So yeah.
Okay. Quan, I'll go with you, and then we finish out with it.
He's going to be a Chief. He's going to be a Chief because what also came out today is that the Chiefs, one of the last remaining starting linemen for the Chiefs who missed the Super Bowl, Mitchell Schwartz, he just got released because he failed his physical in regarding his rehab, and he got released. He got released
the same time as Eric Fisher.
Oh, my bad. But it came out today that he got released because of a physical. I guess that was just news or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a Chief, bro. Patrick Mahomes is not restructuring his deal for another weapon. They already have enough weapons that are already under contract. So he didn't restructure his deal to get Sammy Watkins another year. He didn't do that for him. He did that to get a premier offensive lineman, and the only premier offensive lineman left on the market is a tackle, in which he needs, because Eric Fisher's gone. He's going to be a Chief. I'm willing to book it. He's going to be a Chief because you guys, like you already said, Pat, you reported, y'all offered him a nice little deal. He didn't want it.
Okay.
And if I was him,
Uh-huh.
and this is just me,
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
have no problem going to sign with the Chiefs for 18 mil, then take 20 and stay with y'all.
What?
I'm just saying.
That was hella disrespectful. like we weak or something.
I mean, y'all not the Chiefs. Y'all not weak. Y'all just not the Chiefs.
Hey, go ahead, bro. I'm about to lose it. Go ahead.
Hey, now if he went to Kansas City, that would be a game changer. But I think he stayed with the Niners. I think maybe he was just waiting for somebody to set the market. And if y'all let him go, y'all, man, that's kind of like resetting for the Niners a little bit. Because y'all got a championship defense. If y'all let go of the best tackle he is one of the best tackles in free agency. Yes, he is.
Yeah,
It
for
was
sure.
him, and then the guy that already went to Kansas City was just them too. Who's better than him in free agency right now? They were the top 2 tackles. If you let him go to protect Jimmy, then what?
Yeah. It's a tough one. I believe though this. I think we're talking about how Patrick Mahomes restructured his deal in an effort to open up some more money. I can't let it not be said that here comes D Ford right after that. As soon as he heard about Patrick Mahomes restructuring, the Niners come back and they say, "Hey, D Ford, we just restructured his deal for 2 years, 24, which opened up an additional almost $6 million in cap space." So because the Niners saw them do that with Pat, they said, "Okay, yeah, we can't lose this guy. Let's go ahead on and restructure D Ford, open up $6 more million, and see what we can do as it pertains to a guy like Trent Williams." I believe personally, in my heart of hearts, it's between the Chiefs and the Niners. I gotta say he's coming back. Only reason I say I gotta say he's coming back because, and I know this doesn't hold much weight, but everything he said out of his own mouth leading up until this point was that he wanted to be a Niner. Like that's where he wants to be. And I think if there's a difference between $1 million, $2 million, if that's the discrepancy, I think he'll be a Niner. Just because I would rather lose out on $1 million and be where I want to be. At that point, I mean, if you're getting $20 million a year, at that point, what's $1 million going to change the game, so to speak?
Yeah.
So I definitely.
Not only that $1 million is the difference between being bounced in the first round and going to the Super Bowl.
Who being bounced in the first round?
Not the Chiefs.
Where that's happening at?
Not the Chiefs.
Chill out. Chill out.
Hey man, y'all ready to make a bet real quick? You ready to make a friendly wager? How much you
bet? Because I still ain't got my hoodie, man.
Man, you've talked to our distributor. It's on the way. That ain't got nothing to do with me now. You talk to the distributor.
A friendly wager, man. Who want to take the bet that KB has more catches next year than Deebo Samuel?
Oh, I'll take that.
I'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take that easy.
I'm willing to take that.
See now you're getting too ahead of yourself. You was cool. You was on the right trajectory.
I love Deebo. I love Deebo.
You can't say that, but no, wait, time out, Kwame, because now you starting to make me a little angry. Make me a little angry because you can't talk about Cam Newton throwing balls in the dirt and then try to bet me that KB is gonna have more catches than Deebo. You
I don't think Cam gonna start. I don't think Cam gonna start past week 1.
I will say this as we move on, because I want to touch on Tampa Bay a little bit. I will say this though: if Trent Williams goes to Kansas City, I think then it becomes a lock that the Niners will draft Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. I think they have to at that point. And that boy, he almost kind of remind you a little bit of like a young Trent Williams. He a dog.
Nice. He a monster. He a monster.
He a dog. So I'm okay. I'm not gonna say I'm okay with that, but it gives you some sense of reprieve. Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl champions, 2021 Super Bowl champions.
Running back.
They did to me what was seemingly impossible, and that was get Shaq Barrett to sign and Levante David. I don't know how they got this done, but Shaq Barrett 4 years, $68 million. And then they brought back Gronk for another year for $8 million. And then Levante David, 2 years, $25 million. The Shaq Barrett signing though, I don't know how they did it. they made it happen. Ed, that's your team. I'll let you jump in it and tell me how you feel about them bringing Shaq Barrett back. I mean, since you a Patriot near.
Anyway.
Patriot near. I like that.
So he you know, Tom did what he always did. You know, Tom saw that that's what happened. Tom was gonna count for $25 million on the cap. So they just extended his contract. He took less money, put it into a signing bonus. And then the same thing that happened with him, Shaq Barrett did. So Shaq Barrett money is spread out over the course of years, but he's getting more with his signing bonus. That's why it was able to be 4 years, because they wasn't going to be able to afford him if Tom didn't take a pay cut. But you knew he was. You knew Tom was going to take a pay cut because he didn't already got Barrett. He didn't already got the bag. So if I came here to do what somebody else couldn't do, why not just take less money? I've been doing it my whole career. Why would I stop now?
And,
but
he's rich regardless. He rich regardless.
He said, yeah. Tom said.
Don't matter.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, with him just taking less money, and then, like I said, it opens the door for everybody else because David, his contract is voidable after the first year. So after next year, if he want to hit free agency again, he can. So everybody basically took a page out of Tom Brady book and was just like, we'll just convert the money that we wanted to signing bonuses, and then we can revisit this conversation in a year. So if that's the way they're gonna play it, with all them cats wanting to, having Tom and want to extend his window, then I think it's smart. I think it's good business because everybody win. You get your money that you never had before in your life. You get a chance to play with Tom, and you get a chance to chase Super Bowls. Because who in the NFC
is a threat right now?
Yeah, to them. Nobody.
Not really.
Yeah, see, you can't even comfortably say the Niners.
Wait till after
I can't comfortably say the Niners, but I think that if what I feel, I mean, they get healthy, come back, then of course it would be them. But
especially with that defense. But
right,
you got to have something on the other side of the ball too. At least that, a 27 point per game offense. But
we'll see. We'll see. Quan, I know you was big. Hold on, because Quan, I know you were big about Shaq Barrett, and I know that you kind of covered him and you kind of gave us a lot of information about what you felt like he meant to that defense. When you seen him get signed, what did that say to you?
It was huge, man. It was huge. Like they needed to get him because JPP was like a bigger version of Shaq before Shaq came onto the scene. Shaq is one of those guys that you root for. Undrafted, got a chance in the Broncos, and kind of waited his chance behind Von Miller, of course, behind DeMarcus Ware. And then remember, they drafted Shane Ray in the first round, so he had to sit behind him, and he had to just sit. And then he finally gets his chance to like break out and get in the rotation. And he parlayed a rotation into a starting job with the Bucks and turned that into this big contract. You are happy for a guy like that because he's never gonna lose that hungry edge because he knows where he came from. He wasn't spoon-fed out the draft with a first-round pick. You know what I mean? So I think you really like to see a guy like that sign back and know that he's gonna be like your cornerstone guy, who still can grow. He can still grow. He doesn't have a lot of tread on his wheels because his first 4 years or first 3 to 4 years, he was splitting time. So I really like that signing, man. And kind of like what Ed already touched on. Brady made a lot of this possible with the restructuring and all of that. I think the Levante David deal is what really got this done. I know Tom restructured it with the money, but because David, everyone was like thinking he was going to get a long-term deal, like year-wise, because that's what he said he wanted. He said, I wanted one more deal to break the bank. So we all immediately thought like, oh, he going to get a lot of years. But he only took 2 years with the void.
But I think it goes to I think that having that voidable in there still allows him the opportunity to really get that bag going forward. CT, how you feel about the Shaq Barrett signing?
It's huge, man. With Super Bowl teams, it's rare that you see cats in his situation re-sign. They usually go take the bag, go somewhere else, and try and, be a stalwart for somebody else. But he wanted to stay with Tampa, man. Tampa gave him that opportunity, and loyalty really isn't always there, whether it be the team or the player.
That's true.
There seems to be a mutual loyalty thing with this squad. So You know, Tom showed them the way in so many different ways. I heard Mike Evans right after the Super Bowl talking about, man, it don't matter if y'all want to pay me $2. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take a cut to make sure that we keep this rolling. You know, Godwin come back, get the tag, and just collectively, man, they all came together to make that happen. You know, to put themselves in a position where they could come back and really, you know, dominate. And, you know, I expect them to be in the thick of it at the end. You know, this team, their defense showed out. I was, you know, real skeptical of that. I was skeptical of Tom. Tom was able to turn his team over, man. It shows you that you know, the Patriot way was created by Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect that. I mean, Bill obviously had a lot to do with that, but, like, to be able to pass that on, you know, to another franchise, especially a franchise that don't really know a lot about winning. You know, they got the one Super Bowl and they got creamsicle jerseys. That's about it. So for them to be able to turn that around, that's huge. So I got to give them that credit.
All good, man. I want to jump right quick, man. I want to do a round robin fire take or fire set. I want us to go in a circle. We'll just go like this: Quan, CT, Ed, and then we'll finish out with myself. Give me in 2 minutes or less. Give me your top 4 free agent signings of day one and why. That's how we're gonna finish it out. We're gonna go top 4 free agent signings of the day and why. Because I'm actually trying to, you know, I ain't gonna rush the show, but my Lakers is beating the brakes off the Warriors right now. I just want to kind of put that in there. Just, you know, throw that back in the atmosphere. Warriors got happy after that first game and they thought they was doing something. But let's go ahead on, Quan. I'm gonna start off with you. Round robin, fire, 2 minutes, top 4 signings of day one. Go ahead.
So not bringing up anything we already talked about, I'll pick some new ones that I liked. Leonard Floyd's extension with the Rams, huge. Yeah. Huge to keep him, make that D-line. I think they took a page out of the Niners book. If we got a dominant D-line, we're going to always have a chance. So I like that. I like, let me look at my notes here. Oh, I don't love it, but I like the John Johnson to the Browns.
Okay.
I do like John Johnson to the Browns to give him that back end. What else did I like on here? I really like what the Jets did overall, but the Corey Davis signing was huge. Huge to get a reliable target if they try to, you know, keep Sam. Now Sam also is in that category that Ed said about Cam. No more excuses, bro. No more excuses if we giving you these weapons. So I really like that. And then an underrated signing. This is really underrated. The Cam Sutton deal. The Cam Sutton getting re-signed by the Steelers. I really like that because he's one of the intriguing, one of the best nickel corners in the game. I really like that because Joe Hayden might have to go. He might be a cap cut, but if he doesn't, then I like that they keep their DBs all intact, along with Minka, who's still there on a young deal. So I really like those signings on top of everything we already talked about. Boom.
There you go. CT, top 4 and why on you. Let's rock.
All right. I'll start with Matt Dunn. I actually really like this game, man. He showed out in Baltimore, and I think he's going to do really well for the Patriots in that scheme. So I think that was a good look. You know, I got to compliment the Chiefs with Joe Thuney. I think that's a dope pick for them. Solidify that line a little bit. Moving along, Kendrick Bourne, man. Honestly, I think he's a really, really good fit for that team. I never said he wasn't.
I know I'm giving you a hard time.
But I think that's a really solid move. And then I'll finish off with Jonnu Smith. Was it Smith?
Yeah,
Jonnu Smith. Right, yep.
Jonnu Smith. He's Smith, yeah. Big fan, man. I've been a fan of this game for the last couple of years. So to see him, you know, capitalize on that, the Patriots really needed a tight end. So I think that really opens up the books for Cam, man. And Cam, you get, you know, a few dogs around you and see what you can do. So that's what I got.
There go. Nice, Ed, give me your 4. Give me your 4. Fast.
Okay. Shaq Barrett, for sure. Shaq Barrett to solidify the defense of Tampa Bay, sacrificing the money. That was number 1. Number 2 for me was the wide receivers that went to the Jets.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis. I think because I'm a Sam Darnold fan, I think that if you put him on the right team, he's definitely an elite quarterback. And if you give him a good defense, you can get to the playoffs with him. I don't know how far of a run you could go, but he needed the weapons. They showed up some gaps on their defensive line. My third best signing was the weapons that Cam got. He needed Aguilar. He needed the guy from the Niners. The only thing is going to be, is Cam going to is he going to be the quarterback that y'all think he going to be? He ain't never been no great quarterback to me. And you can't throw pebbles to the beach. If you can't throw pebbles into the ocean, if you're standing on the beach, then you can't throw no football. So
wow.
I don't care nothing about that.
He getting disrespectful right now.
And then the last signing was Jameis Winston. I like Jameis Winston. Back to the Saints. And they got in. It shows growth. He could have easily went. He could have went to Washington. Washington just re-signed. They just signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. He could have went to Washington and got a bag. He could have went anywhere else. He decided to stay with the Saints for I think $10 or $12 million. He had a year to learn, and now this is his opportunity to show the world that a lot of those 30 picks that I threw was because
Bruce
that's
Arians.
the system I was in because of Bruce Arians, and that's what he wanted from me. Now you don't got those excuses because you got a world-class offensive line, wide receivers. You got Alvin Kamara, and he's still going to bring back a top-5 defense with a Hall of Fame coach. So that's my fourth with Jameis Winston. If he can't get it done, him and Cam, they're going to be sharing the house together because they ain't going to be able to afford nothing. They're going to be
wow
out here like us on podcasts, chilling, wishing they would have made better decisions and opened a book.
So here we go, man. My 4, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get out the way, man. Let's get it going. I heard what y'all said about Shaq Barrett, Quan, especially you, talking about a guy who sat around, waited, got into the rotation, made something happen, started playing very well, and started coming on late, and parlayed that into a starting position down in Tampa Bay. There was a guy that got signed today who has that same kind of blueprint that I'm excited about. I'm gonna keep it alive. Samson Ebukam. The rush in that came from the Rams. Now he's with the Niners. Dude, they call him Sosa. Now we got Sosa and Bosa on the outside. Over the last 2 years, bro has put up 79 tackles, not starting, 79 tackles and 9 sacks in 2 years, not starting, but being a rotational guy. Nice. I'm okay with that. He started to come on late last year for the Rams. I'm excited to see what he can do on that defensive line. Also, I got to stick with the Niners. I think so. I believe he might. I'm going to stick with the Niners. And I'm going to say also, them signing back Jason Verrett was huge for me because honestly, coming into this moment, there were 0 corners on our roster outside of E-Man and Dante Johnson. I think they re-signed. Or no, Tim Harris. There was an issue there. So them getting Jason Verrett back was ginormous for me. My last 2 right here. I thought it was kind of big. Honestly, I like my guy. I had to look for his name again. I actually forgot it. Houston Texans. Okay. Shaq Lawson going to Houston. And actually kind of shoring up that defense a little bit. I know that they kind of have had issues. They got him in that trade, but I feel like Shaq Lawson coming over in that trade is going to help Houston out a lot. And I think my last one, I think I talked about it at the top of the show, but I feel like personally going on ahead and getting Jalen Mills back there with Patrick Chung is going to be a problem. Them two at safety back there is going to be nice. It's going to be something to write home about. So I feel like those couple signings right there have the ability to make some noise, especially my boy Sosa on the outside coming over and pairing up with Bosa. So I'm excited about those, man. Round robin kind of getting through that. It looked like Quan has some technical difficulties on his phone. I'm sure he'll be back in just a moment. But as we close out tonight's show, I'm going to keep it going just on this particular situation. CT and Ed, I'll hit y'all just straight down the line. Day 1 is now concluded. Day 1 is over. Who, what, and where are you most looking forward to over the next 3 days? What player, where they go, or what happens over the next couple of days? Are you kind of like, okay, I'm watching that to see what's going to happen, and how that pan out for a team? CT, who you watching over the next couple of days?
I don't think you can skip over Trent Williams at all, man.
Right.
That's a big domino, regardless of what decision he makes. It's definitely going to put, his former team, the Niners, right as of right now, his former team, it puts us in a bind of what we're going to do with that left tackle spot, which is so pivotal for us. The Chiefs, they obviously need to refill theirs. I think that's important. Also, really interested to see what Jacksonville does. Can they pick up an Eric Fisher? Can they take one of these offensive linemen for cheap that are, recently released or want to be traded, like Orlando Brown? What are they going to do to solidify? Because we all expect them to get Trevor Lawrence. So, what are you going to do to make sure he's protected?
Right.
Those are the biggest ones that strike me.
All right. Ed, anybody you got looking like you got eyes out on in the next couple of days?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to see where Juju end up.
It's been rumored.
New York.
Nah.
I think he ended up two places. I think it might come down to two teams. The Niners and the Ravens. I think
Okay.
The Ravens finally pulled the trigger?
I think okay. So I know we finna cut off, right? But if you feel like you got a championship quarterback, you can't pull what Green Bay doing with A-Rod and not getting these guys some help.
Right.
Like some people are just burners, right? And then some people are just slot guys, or some people are just good red zone. Like Juju can do it all. And Lamar need a wide receiver that can do it all, so that way it opens up the other things for Hollywood Brown and takes pressure off of those tight ends, because those tight ends are getting doubled and have to make world-class catches. It seems like they got to make them every game. So if you give him and Juju was 6'4", 6'5".
Nah, he's a little bit shorter than that. Probably like 6'3", 6'2".
Okay, so let's say 6'3". He's a big wide receiver. He can win one-on-one. He can make all the catches, and he's not no cancer. And I think that he might need a new start. Why not go to a division rival? Or if you feel like you might be the missing piece to a team a la the Niners, like who need another wide receiver now that they just lost somebody who could take off, who could be your deep threat, because I think that the two wide receivers that y'all got right now, they better like open space, quick screens. Breaking tackles.
Ayuk could be a deep threat.
Yeah, he could. But to me, them two, that if you get Juju, it just opened up the offense more. Y'all can be more exposed. So to me, I think it's Juju between the Niners and the Ravens. I really want him to go to the Ravens with Lamar. But I wouldn't be mad to see him with the Niners too, because I think
come back home.
Come back home.
He a LA Cali boy, man. So it'd be kind of cool to see him come back home. As I wrap up here, just a couple that I'm actually kind of looking at. I kind of want to see where Shaq Griffin ends up. I want to see, he probably one of the top corners left on the market. I want to see where Shaq Griffin ends up, especially I want to see what Seattle does. They ain't did nothing yet. They've not had no signings, no trades, no nothing. Seattle ain't made no moves at all. So I'm interested to see how they get down and see what happens with Shaq Griffin. And then it's funny. I mean, I'm a Niner, so I'm gonna keep it in the vein. I kind of want to see what happens with Kerry Hyder. And I want to see if we can bring him back for a 1 year, $3 million, something like that. 1 year, $4 million, something like that, where, he really solidified that defensive line. He was our best defensive lineman last year. And with Bosa coming back, and then with Sosa coming over, kicking him and Eric Armstead down inside.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. And, I also kind of want to see what happens with a guy like Solomon Thomas, man. He started out with us. I want to see where he goes and how he makes something happen. Of course, it goes without saying Trent Williams, but you know what I'm saying? It's, we got to just hold our breath on that one to kind of see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, man. And that's all we got for tonight. CT, any final words? Go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you a question. With Green Bay letting go of their center, you think the A-Rod era over?
No. The A-Rod era can't be complete. I mean, he is MVP. He legit the MVP of the league.
Even if
his era can't be over.
But you just gave away the centerpiece of your offensive line that makes all your calls and your checks. He's the most valuable piece on the line. I'm pretty sure that A-Rod is at home. Is the little shots of whiskey that he had and turned into full cup. He's high. If I'm him, I gotta be sitting back like, damn, y'all wouldn't give me no help last year. Y'all gonna go get rid of all. Y'all not gonna even try to bring back an all-pro center like they just falling out the sky. Man, it might be time that y'all package this up and let me. I might want to go home, Pat. You know, I might need to go back home. Let me see what.
All right, we over here open arms, man. Come on home, man.
Would you go give up for A-Rod?
Huh?
Would you go give up for A-Rod?
A-Rod, I'll give up a solid 2. A 2 and a 5. His age got to play a factor. His age has to play a factor in that.
A 2 and a 5?
I'll give up a 2. Well, let me not be disrespectful. I'll give up a 2 this year, a 1 next year. And maybe
MVP.
Yeah, I'm gonna give up a 2 this year, a 1 next year, and then maybe a 5. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I want Quan to jump in right quick because I know he had a little difficulty. Quan, what we did was we went through the free agents that we were most impressed with day one. We wanted to kind of do a round robin right quick before we end the show tonight. Going into the rest of the free agency, who are you most looking at? Who do you have your eye on to see what they do and where they go and what happens? Give me like 2 or 3 guys.
Well, I would like to see where Trent goes. I know we already spent a lot of time on him, but I would like to see where he goes because wherever he goes, he's going to solidify that old line. I would also like to see what happens with Juju, just because I'm intrigued on Juju, just because he's a guy where I think he's in a sticky situation. I don't think he's a number one, and he can work himself out of a number 2. I really do think that because when you look at his situation with the Steelers, he was the one. Right. I mean,
just putting that. I'm gonna just leave that on the screen while you talk. Go
okay.
ahead.
Okay. So check this out. So I'm glad you said that. Are you happy about that? Would you and CT like?
I'm not mad at that at all.
Would you like that?
You can't be mad. You can't be mad at getting Juju.
CT, would you like that?
I'll take it. I mean, you know, we have had receivers that we've been trying to find like that one since T.O., right? Anquan kind of solidified it, but he was a little older. You have Debo and Ayuk who are more on the gadget side just based on the way we've seen things. You know, they can be used in so many different ways. We don't have that number one, like, let's go right now. I'm not saying it couldn't happen with who we have, but obviously if you got an opportunity to add a Juju, it's interesting. But for me, I'm going to be honest with you, I'd rather play a little conservative because I don't know how much money we can really give him and afford to give him because there are so many other holes I feel like are a little bit more important. So that's not a top of the list priority for me at this point, personally.
I don't think he commands a lot of money. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. He became the number 2 instantly when Claypool got off. So he took his spot right there. Deontay Johnson took his spot. He took his reps.
Wow.
And then the other receiver that had James Washington, it's a toss-up, and they got rid of him. And James Washington was drafted higher than Juju when they got Juju.
Wow.
So
you cool?
Am I saying anything that's not factual?
Yeah, I'm just because like I know you went off the broadcast for a second. I don't know if you went out there and you got a couple of drinks or something.
No, it was perfect. My Wi-Fi went out, my power went out, which then I had to hit reset, so I reset my mind too. And am I saying anything? Am I saying anything that's not factual right now?
Yes.
You just said Juju was a floor.
Right.
What is Juju? Okay, answer this question. What is Juju gonna be if he goes to the Niners? Is he the number 1?
Competing.
So then who would be the number 2 if he's competing for the 1?
Debo.
Didn't Debo get hurt last year and he still had more years? Never mind. All right, man. Look, y'all can have Juju. I really want to look. I'm really intrigued on Kareem Jackson. I hope the Raiders land Kareem Jackson because I really want the Raiders to get Jalen Mills because of his versatility, but I would really love Kareem Jackson, and that's my last bit.
All right.
Hey, Cora, you wasn't here like 2 seconds ago. Your boy Pat, we're gonna have to talk. He said he will only give up a 2nd rounder and a 5th for A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
And you asking if I'm cool?
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping.
Come on.
After he just called him MVP, he said he would give up a second and a fifth, or a second rounder this year and a first rounder next year.
Yeah.
There are only two quarterbacks in the NFL
And
right now.
And he like 40?
No, what?
Wow. And he's way better than anybody that we talked about tonight, except Tom
How old is
Brady.
A-Rod? A-Rod gotta be pushing 40. I know I ain't tripping.
He's 35, 36.
Maybe 36, 37.
So
I think CT had it right. He's 36, something like that.
But going back to what you said earlier about Debo had 381 last year. Juju had 831, just so you know. I just didn't want to have you leave hanging out there by yourself.
That's the only thing I said that's not factual, but Juju would not be the number one on San Francisco.
Aaron Rodgers will turn 38 this season.
He ain't never had no major injuries either.
I don't care. He's 38. I'm not about to sell them first round picks for no
you are
38-year-old
tripping.
quarterback.
If Aaron Rodgers went to the Niners right now, y'all would be Super Bowl bound right now.
For sure. For a second and a fifth.
Oh my God.
For sure, for a second and a fifth.
You would give a second and a fifth for the MVP?
At 38, yes.
You are bugging. I'm sorry.
I said a first next year.
You know what? I'm gonna put this on our Field Level Family group that we just made, and I'm blasting all over all the socials for this question. No one's gonna have your side for this. I'm telling you right now.
A second and a fifth this year and a first next year. I don't see what's wrong with that.
A second and a for A-Rod? For A-Rod.
I will buy whatever Niner jersey you want me to buy this year, and I will wear it every single Sunday if you get one person to agree with you on that when I post that question on social. One person. That's all I take.
So a second and a fifth this year and a first next year is not enough.
Oh, wait. Now
Hey, what did the Packers?
I've been saying that the whole time.
What did the Packers get when they traded Brett Favre to the Jets?
That's a good question.
Did he go to the Jets first or the Vikings? I know he was on both.
He was on the Jets first.
Brett Favre to A-Rod.
It's comparable.
I'm saying comparable. Nah, bro, he wasn't bad at that point. He wasn't bad yet. He got bad at Minnesota. He got bad. He was still decent.
He was still good with Minnesota.
Yeah, didn't they get to the playoffs with Minnesota and they beat y'all?
They got to the NFC Championship game.
Right, and the AP fumbled 3 times.
Yeah, but didn't they beat y'all in the playoffs? Remember that deep throw in the back of the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, was that playoffs?
Well, maybe not.
Who was that? What are you talking about?
It wasn't playoffs. We weren't good yet.
Yeah.
So Brett Favre was traded for conditional draft picks. I don't even know what that means.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's like at least 5th and 6th.
But that's not A-Rod though. That ain't
A-Rod
though.
You're not getting no MVP coming off an MVP season. You're not getting them for no. Them is peanuts.
A second, a fifth, and a first?
That's not good enough.
MVP? You can't get
38 at 38 years old.
You can't get Tom. You can't get Tom for a second and a fifth, and he's 42.
I got a question.
It's a little different. Tom got 6 Super Bowls. Let's not compare the two. I mean, it's a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on.
He's been to 3 NFC Championship games.
Okay, how many Super Bowls?
The team has 7 Super Bowls.
No, Tom Brady got 6 Super Bowls. Tom Brady got 6 Super Bowls.
No.
Yes, he does.
No.
Yes, he does.
Okay, look.
Yes, he does. I'm not gonna let you do that.
No.
Yes, he does.
He does not. No, he does not.
Okay.
Because one of them Super Bowls don't count. The Rams Super Bowl, he did nothing to win that game. So let's just take the team.
Prevent Terry to kick it.
Oh my God! So one drive.
If Tom Brady not on them teams, do they win them Super Bowls?
Possibly.
Oh wow.
You don't believe
This is the field level. This is the field level, the football podcast of the West Coast, man. Follow us on Instagram at the field level. Follow us on Twitter at the field level 1. Follow us on Facebook. Facebook family is going to follow us on Facebook family. Field level family, I'm sorry. On Facebook. Follow us there. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell and like this particular episode as well as the rest of them, man. Yeah. It's the field level football podcast of the West Coast. I'm Pat. That's CT. That's Quan. That's it. We out of here, man. Respect.
Every week, catch your freshest on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field, running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day, and I just got the call. Production over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.